In today's video, I'll be sharing how I built this new studio space for Kasper and I to work in called Grraspers Studio. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I'm Rachel, and as I said, we will be diving into building on Highrise. So we are creating a studio space. First, I'm going to scroll to the bottom of my profile and create the new room. I put a name, a brief description, and we're picking the layout. You can change a few options there as well. The first thing I want to do is put a backdrop. So some of the funner options are for HR Plus monthly subscribers, and then there's basic colors for regular users. And then I'm just going to shop and buy any items that I feel might go in the space. We bought some flooring, some walls, some plants, and we're just gonna see what we can do. I don't have a clear direction yet. So I start by putting the flooring down. You just wanna select, drop, and lay, and very easily you can change the space as you can see, just laying it very plainly. For stairs, I put blocks one by one and then started changing the sizing so that you can go up the stairs seamlessly. You can use the options here to change the size, and then there's change options to have blocks go just left and right instead of up and down as well. Here we can see the progress on the staircase. I went and added some triangle designs, getting a little creative for a bit of a railing effect, and then just changing and rotating the sizes so you can kind of see how things are happening. And for this segment, I'm adding a little builder trick that I was taught early on. I don't use this strategy so much, but there is a stage item that you can buy within the furniture. And if you place that in the room, you can kind of use that as a guide for where you want your floor to be. So you can layer the blocks just on top of the stage, and that way it ensures all of the blocks are layered smoothly, because sometimes things don't line up evenly, but the stage helps you make sure that everything is flat and just a completely smooth surface. If you ever have blocks just kind of floating and not lining up, this would be a great trick for you to use. But honestly, I just move and shuffle and change and use my direction options more often than using the stage. And then I'll test and just kind of walk on my stage as well to make sure my flooring is always flat. But here in this segment, I'm going to go ahead and add a bit of a cozy space. I was envisioning nature and a window, kind of a little retreat spot for our office. We do want to do business here, but we want it to still be comfortable. So I'm adding the window, playing with options. And then I wanted a water fountain, so playing with that over here too, just adding colored blocks, and we're just gonna create water. Like, what is it? It's just blue, and I'm adding some curves. I actually go ahead and remove those later, but I'm building. It's a process. It's trial and error. Sometimes you put things down and they don't work. I wanted the fountain to be enclosed but feel natural, so I played with a few ideas here. I didn't go with these. We used the gold pillars. It was too much. Tried basic gold. Didn't really fit right. But just a lot of playing and trial and error with building. Like, it's fun. This is what it is, creating your own space. I did want a podcast corner, so I went ahead and put the wallpaper that looks like it might be soundproof. That looks like it might contain some of our vocals. So I put that there. I was looking for some cozy chairs. I actually ended up swapping these out as well. But again, building, it's a bit of a process, trial and error. I was looking for cozy. We added some lights. We wanted a table. I was looking for microphones, but I don't have any on my account, so we will just be talking into our phones in this corner for our podcasts. But we do have some hot cocoa. I threw in the mother chairs, making it more glamorous. And then I realized, this is an office space. We need an office space. So I started trying to build what could be the office, where we would put computers, shelving, that sort of thing. There is different storage options, but I didn't love these. I really wanted the room to stay dark, so started putting things down, and then I got rid of them. And we do have desk items in Highrise, but I didn't love those, so we used blocks. We built our own. And then I put those up here, the blocks there, as a background for our TVs. So you'll see I have some multiple screens. We're getting digital. I'm kind of all over the place. I filmed this as I was building, and building is chaotic for me, so I went back. We're over in the podcast area. I started putting up some lights and pictures. Just wanted it to feel cozier. Kasper didn't improve the pink, but it's fine. He'll love it. But I'm just trying to make things a little cozier. As you can see, these items are literally floating in the air. So that's a great trick I love with building. If things don't quite line up, you can just pull them into the sky and have them float. And here's Kasper bringing me pizza. It was a great break from building. He loves to support me. And then back to work. So here we are. Of course, I'm with Velvet Jungle, so we needed to add some jungle vibes in here. A bunch of floating plants. As you can see, I kind of bring them down so they're hanging from below. And then again over here, I'm doing that layering thing. If you just put an item down and then yank it up into the sky, it is not taking up space that you can walk on, but it is visible in the air. So I love that. And here with these plants as well, I'm putting them in their spots, but then I'm lifting them ever so slightly so they line up better in the room. People won't be able to walk in these spaces when they're that close to the ground, but aesthetically, it's doing something. So I'm just adding some of these final details, playing with sparkles. The room keeps jumping back and forth because you do have to have the item selected in the appropriate area to actually move it. Otherwise, your screen kind of jiggles. So be aware of that. I am adding some speakers for our little corner, just any final finishing touches. I wanted it to feel fun, but not too busy. And I think at this point, it was pushing the line of too busy. I have that gene where sometimes you do too much and you don't know when to stop. But I think at this point, I'm almost done. Just keep putting a few more plants, but you know, it is what it is. I think at this point, it's cute, it's comfortable, it's functional. The lobby's a little empty. Nobody's gonna hang down there. It's fine. So then I invited my man, and I'm gonna show you quickly how to mod a room once you own it. So this is your room. People can come in. You can click and select as you saw and do things on the list. You can click and change your thumbnail. This is mine for the room. Made it with ChatGPT myself. Then you can go and change different options here. You can set how many people come in the room. You can ban certain users if you just don't want to see them ever pop in. You can come and add people to your moderator or designer list. Designers will also be able to edit and move items in the room, where moderators can only moderate and mute or kick users in the room. They cannot touch furniture. So that is how modding and the room list works for controlling how to play in your new room. But thank you for watching. I hope you learned something new. Like, comment, subscribe, or whatever, and see you later.